Have you ever noticed how some people just walk into a room and command it without even saying a word? It's not about being loud, it's something else, a kind of quiet power. Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today, the habits that build that kind of deep respect. We'll even look at intense characters like Tommy Shelby to see these ideas in action.
It's a scene we've all witnessed, right? Someone enters and the whole vibe of the room just shifts. They don't have to shout or make demands. There's just this magnetic presence, a kind of weight to their silence that makes you instinctively want to pay attention.
So, what is their secret? What's going on behind the curtain? Well, here's the thing. It's not magic. It's psychology. These are specific, learnable techniques and habits. And today, we are going to unpack them, one by one.
All right, let's start at the very beginning, with the physical stuff. Because long before you ever say a word, your body has already done a whole lot of talking for you. This, right here, is the foundation of confidence.
So the first habit is all about mastering your movement. Look at the contrast here. On one side, you've got nervous energy, fast movements, fidgeting, rushing around. But on the other, confident, calm. That's all about slow, deliberate actions. Think about it. When you're truly in control, you're never in a hurry, are you? And there's some really cool psychology happening here. When you move slowly, especially when the pressure's on, you're sending this powerful subconscious message to everyone around you. You're basically saying, I'm not scared. I'm not rattled. I am in complete command of this situation.
Next up, the art of eye contact. Now, this is a delicate dance. The goal is not to have some kind of aggressive stare down. That just makes things tense. The real skill is knowing when to hold your gaze to show confidence and when to break it. And here's a crucial tip. If you need to de-escalate, look to the side. Never look down. That signals submission.
And there really is a sweet spot. About 3 to 5 seconds. That's the magic number. It's just long enough to build a connection and show you're confident, but not so long that it gets weird or aggressive. It's a simple little tool you can literally start using today.
Okay, now for what might be one of the biggest power moves of all, the art of non-reaction. This is your ability to stay completely calm when everyone else around you is freaking out. It is such a profound display of inner strength, and it tells people, without a single word, whatever this is, I got this.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's almost impossible not to respect someone who can stay cool under fire. Their silence is so much louder, so much more powerful than any angry or panicked outburst could ever be. That is real control.
And the last piece of the physical puzzle is about presence. When you're talking to a group, don't be afraid to take up space. Expand your posture, use gestures that are a bit bigger, open up your body. You're basically matching your physical energy to the room, and it naturally helps you command attention.
Okay, so we've got the physical foundation of quiet power locked down. Now, let's build on top of that. Part 2 is all about speaking with conviction. Because the words you choose, and just as importantly, the way you say them, that becomes the signature of your authority.
This fifth habit is all about your choice of words. Just listen to the difference. On one side, you have weak language, like, I hope this works out. And on the other, strong language, I will make this work. It seems like a small change, but that one word completely shifts how people see your commitment.
And the psychology here is actually pretty simple. Your words are just a mirror for what you truly believe inside. Now, speaking with certainty isn't about being arrogant. It's about showing that you have a deep, unshakable belief in your own plan. And let me tell you, that kind of certainty is way more persuasive than just hope.
Habit number 6 is all about the sound of your voice. So many of us have this habit where our voice goes up at the end of a sentence. It basically turns a statement into a question, like you're asking for approval. People with quiet authority do the exact opposite. Their sentences end with a downward inflection. It makes everything they say sound like a settled fact.
Now for one of my absolute favorite tools in the toolbox, the strategic use of silence, the power of the pause. For instance, if I wanted to make a point that I really wanted you to remember, I would just say it, and then,
well, hello there. That battery can last up to 24 hours even with the always-on display turned on. It's pretty cool.
You feel that? That's silence. It pulls you in. It builds a little bit of tension and gives the words that came before it so much more weight. When you do it right, a pause isn't a sign of hesitation. It's a sign of complete control over the conversation. It makes people lean in and listen.
So, we've covered body language, we've covered how you speak, but both of those things are really just symptoms of something much deeper. And that brings us to our final section, the strategic mind.
This is the real engine, the core of influence.
And our eighth and final habit is really a mindset shift. It's about understanding a core principle of how people work, the carrot and the stick. See, quietly powerful people don't need to yell because they get what really motivates us. They understand the two fundamental levers, what we want and what we're afraid of losing.
And it really is that simple. Your leverage in almost any situation comes down to these two questions. If you can give someone something they desperately want, that's the carrot. Or if you're in a position to take away something they're terrified of losing, that's the stick. Then your words will carry incredible weight. No shouting necessary. So how do you use this in the real world without being manipulative? Let's take getting a raise. Instead of just demanding it, you start with the carrot. You go to your boss and say, what value do I need to create for this company to earn that promotion? Then, while you're delivering on that promise, you quietly build your stick. You get a backup offer from another company. Now, when you go back to negotiate, you're not coming from a place of desperation. You're coming from a place of strength.
So when you put it all together, this is what quiet power looks like. Your body language and how you speak are hugely important. They're about 30% each. But look, the biggest piece of the pie, 40%, is your mindset, your strategy, and your understanding of what makes people tick. That is what's really driving the whole thing.
And in the end, it really all comes down to this. Respect is not something people just hand over to you. It's something you build, consciously. You earn it through your deliberate actions, your careful words, and, maybe most importantly, through your powerful, strategic silence.
So as we wrap this up, the real question isn't just about what you learned. It's about what you're going to do. Out of all these habits we've talked about, which one are you going to start practicing first? Because, understanding this stuff is great, but taking action, that's where the change really happens.